It's foggy. It's foggy out there. It's foggy, it's cold, and a fox was at the window. And all in the neighborhood was frighteningly quiet. Who thinks there's going to be a white Christmas this year? In Qatar. No, seriously, who thinks there's going to be a white Christmas here? Go on, let us know. Who thinks there's going to be a white Christmas? Does anyone know that? Does anyone think that? Morning, everyone. Morning, Emma McGregor, Faith Goodman, Donna Foster, Nicholas Sinnott, Tim Reed, hope you're very well, Sir Tim, Anne-Marie Franklin, Emma McGregor, Anna Kite, Ellen Watts, Laurel Nichols, Fiona Reed, Kerry Scentwhistle, Dandy Magpie. I saw a dandy magpie out there today. He was standing there with a sort of cigarette in a cigarette holder, just smoking. I always wondered, is there anyone, do you know anyone who smokes with a cigarette holder? Yeah, you're right, Brenda McGee. Hit the thumbs up icon, guys, because guess what we might have at the end of this chat? We might have one of those really strange BBC News quizzes. Yeah. Yeah. Andrea Crash, no white Christmas here in Kiwiland. I'd have thought right down the bottom south bit of the southern island, though. Does it get frosty? Frosty the snowman had a very tiny nose. Don't think that's how it goes. Yeah, go on, hit that thumbs up icon and we might have. And that means you have to come out and go back in, but hey, I'll stay here. I'll be here for you. So I'm trying to talk with a voice that's calm, unhurried and unstressed, because I've got shitloads of stuff to do today, because what starts next week is Vlogmas, and there's shitloads of other stuff and other deadlines that we have to hit first. So we're going to be doing that. We were shooting the Sunday show last night to get ahead with that, and I tasted the food and it was absolutely divine. So if you are a member, you've got that to look forward to on Sunday, and we're going to try and get it up. We're going to try and get the Sunday show up. We're going to try and get the Sunday show up much earlier on Sunday, so it feels like more of a Sunday show, okay? Diane Sylvester, calm voice is brill. Though when Nads isn't here, I miss a couple of things. I miss her voice. I miss her hysteria. I miss her frantic nervousness like a gerbil on acid. And I genuinely miss her cleavage. But that's just between you and me, and that's the end of that sort of chat. Because I know that she gets worried. She gets worried when she leaves me manning the ship. Things are going to go awry. She's on her way to McDonald's, I was about to say. No, she's not on her way to McDonald's, she's on her way to Loose Women, and then she's heading straight back, and then we're going to be filming more shit today. Yeah, she's in the studio today, which is kind of like it's a fool's gold, or a false promise, or a mirage. Because of course you're offered the prospect of conviviality and bonhomie, but you have to all stay so distant from each other. Thanks, Aunt Dear. Yay. Let me show you this. Mark's rocket fuel. Look at that. Isn't that good? And look what it says inside. Oh, better not pour it all over the coffee money. That's from my sister-in-law, Dina. Isn't that sweet? Why am I talking about that? That's from Dina. Isn't it a lovely one? I love the colour. Mark's rocket fuel. It is my Mark. Chris Perez. Hey, Mark, from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Very good, Chris. Hope you're well. Send my love to Florida. So, I've been doing, oh look, there comes the sun through the sun doth beckon through the foggy arras. I love a bit of fog. Makes me feel like I'm walking and moving through a movie. Do you know what I mean? I've been asked to go for a flu jab officially by the NHS. I got a letter from the NHS this morning saying restricted, personal. I went into a panic. I thought, oh my God, that test that I had done, I don't know, 18 years ago has suddenly turned up on someone's desk and they're sending me a really late blood test result, but it wasn't. It was make an appointment for flu and you're gonna have to have your backside examined at some point because you're over 50. That's what I thought it was going to say. It doesn't actually say that. It's really boring. You're 27. Never had one before, Emma. It's kind of worrying, isn't it? You get a letter from the NHS. It's like, no. No. Faith Goodman, you like fog unless you have to drive through it. I like to eat fog. Do you do that? I can't remember which puppy it was, Toffee or Chi-Chi. We let her out in thick fog one time, and it was that sort of wet fog, you know, the kind of fog that kind of sticks to you like a blanket. And she kept doing that. They also do that with snow. So at some point today, I'll probably, when I do my run, I will do a run and I will gobble fog. I'm a fog gobbler. Elaine Hewings, of course you can have a shout out, please. I'm having my third very hard year with blood cancer. Elaine, sending you massive, massive love. Stay well and stay safe, and I hope you're coping as best as you can in this scenario that we're in. Miss Tricia, we're going to be reading out your vlogmas suggestions, but we thought we'd do it as a sort of specialised little live chat. So me and Nad's going to find a moment over the weekend to go through those things with you. But we thought we'd read them out live and kicking. Who's that? Michelle Chandler. Oh, bless you. I won't. Erin. Good morning, Erin. Kerry J. Williams. Morning. Brenda from Portsmouth. Or Kerry J. Williams from Portsmouth. Don't know. Hi, Jacqueline Frost. Hi, Emma Staples. Little note here. Morning time for rhyme, personalised poetry, Kirsty Wilson. Little note here that there's an issue with today's Confessions of a Modern Parent podcast. Someone somewhere uploaded it at double speed. So if you're inclined to like listening to your podcast rapidly and stressfully, go and have a listen. But otherwise, I'd wait. And then when me and Nadia post about it on our Insta stories, go and listen to it then. They're global media, global player, global media. They're looking into it. Apparently, it's been uploaded at the wrong speed. So, but it's a good one. It's a good one. It's all about what do you hate about being a parent, or what have you hated. And before we get shot down in flames, we are so appreciative of the fact that we're parents, because we know that not everyone gets the opportunity and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it is meant as a bit of light-hearted bonhomie between parents with a bit of gallows humour. And the kids have a good old dig at us as well, which is fun, isn't it? I might go and get Fleur's feeling better, yeah. I might go and get another coffee in a minute, and I might just leave you a nice shot of the fog whilst I do that. John Carpenter's The Fog. I must admit, it's a really nice mug to drink out of. Do you find that only certain mugs suffice? Do you find that? I know what Nadia means. She wants a certain mug of self-care. There are some mugs that have lips that no matter how suctiony your lips are, it still sort of comes down the side, so that when you put it down, I mean, I'm getting to that age now where that sort of thing really bothers me. That's why you have coasters, isn't it, and things like that. But I like to have neat lip suction, coffee lip suction. This is a good one, although, as you can see, I've already had a bit of an accident there. This is called Granular Coffee Cup Conversation. That's what we'll put in the thumbnail. A little shout out actually to Michelle, our lovely Michelle, who looks after all of our social media profile and, you know, comments and all that kind of stuff. The thumbnails she does are so brilliant. So thank you very much. They're kind of classy but impactful. So let's just do a little hit the thumbs up icon for Michelle. She does a grand job. Kara sent me a Mark, have you made me want a McDonald's breakfast? Yeah, I want one. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love McDonald's. All this hate and stuff. I mean, yes, you know, all companies need to improve their sourcing and all of ingredients and all that. But sorry, give me a Mackie D's, drunk or not drunk, and I'm yours. The other thing I quite like about this mug, I can't leave this mug alone actually, is when you get to the bottom of it, there's a little bit more. There's like a little antechamber at the bottom, which flips open and says, "Hi, I'm more coffee you didn't know was in here." I love that. Shall we have a look at some of the news? So poor old Boris is on the back foot again, isn't he? Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. But I think he should be damned pretty much here, because it feels like, though of course, it's funny actually, because Bristol has gone into tier 3, which obviously impacts on Izzy, my eldest. Kent has gone into tier 3, which impacts on my second eldest, Fleur. Fleur is at home with her mum. So that's kind of okay. Though I'm sure she'd like to be able to see her friends too. But Izzy is in Bristol, and it was interesting because I dropped Izzy a message last night. So I hope you're all right. I hope you're okay. Oh God, what pain about tier 3. And like she said, well, yeah, it is a pain, but can it be any worse than lockdown? But and I think the point I'm trying to make is there's a perception, isn't there, that we're coming out of something that is very restrictive. And if you go into tier 3, it's somehow worse. And I wanted to ask you guys, is your perception that if you go into tier 3, is that worse than being in lockdown, the lockdown that we've been in? Or is it, as we all think it must be, it's better? Now, when I look at the list of what is better, I see hairdressers. And I see pubs being able to offer food, is that right, through windows? Well, maybe pubs can't. Right, there you go, Sophie B. So it's effectively, for anyone in tier 3, it feels like another lockdown without having to call it one. So it's not worse, is it? It's not worse. So yeah, so when Izzy came back to me, she sort of said, well, we're in a lockdown. It's not going to be worse than that, which I kind of thought, yeah, that's true. I kind of got into my head now that tier 3 is like the worst thing since sliced bread. Yeah, no food in tier 3 apart from takeaways. I live in Kent. We went from tier 1 lockdown to tier 3. How do we get worse through lockdown? But you're right. But presumably tier 3 is going to be, not merely, I mean, there's no merely to it, is a continuation of what we've already had, isn't it? So really for anyone in a tier 3, it's an extension of lockdown. Anyone in tier 2, it's a slight loosening. And anyone in tier 1, I mean, the news story is trying to say more people are in a more restrictive place than they were before lockdown. But I kind of think we were all expecting that, weren't we? I mean, surely you're not going to, if we're going to make progress, or to use the analogy that Boris Johnson uses of, if we've got our foot on the neck of the beast, it's incredibly sort of Arthurian, isn't it? Sort of George and the Dragon, King George, yeah, St. George and the Dragon. If we've got our foot on the throat of the beast, you don't really want to pull it up. I do feel for places where there's virtually no cases. And that's probably due to some really tireless discipline and, fastidious observing of the rules, and then they get thrown into a tier that's quite restrictive. So let me ask you this. If we're in tier 2 in London, we can't visit places like Bristol or Kent, can we? You can't go into a tier 3, is that correct? Because we're on the Surrey borders. I mean, Kent isn't far from here. You can't go into tier 3. Can you go into tier 3 from a tier 1 or a tier 2? No, you can't. We can virtually do whatever we want for Christmas, can't we? I mean, I think what they're saying to us as human beings is, we're going to try and control things, but for this Christmas 5 days, it's down to you guys, really. And in many respects, I think that's what we're all wanting, isn't it? I think we're going to all have to be the judges of our own. I mean, me and Nanny Di were joking last night, but Whitty's comment that, don't hug your elders, he's kind of just giving us a stark warning that the choices reside with us. Yes, Maggie M, remember, it's all advisory. It's absolutely true. So, so in terms of that, Boris is facing a potential backlash from more Tory backbenchers. I can't quite get perspective on what the Labour Party's up to. I don't know whether they're, I don't think they need to vote anything through or anything like that. But there's talk of him facing a rebellion. But he's always got, I mean, to be honest with you, the Tory party have always got a rebellion. The backbenchers are always unhappy about something. And to be fair, that's what backbenchers are supposed to do. They're supposed to sit on the backbenches and be irritating, aren't they? I mean, what's his face, Rees-Mogg, made an absolute art of it. Martin Smith, I hope people will be very careful at Christmas, but there are loads out there that will just carry on as normal. God help us in the new year if they are not sensible. Does anyone have a sense of how many people, I know we keep getting these daily figures. Let me see if I can find they have that daily stat, don't they? How many people have had the virus in this country? How many people have had the virus in this country? Let's have a look. Total cases in the UK is at 1.5 million. So that's a figure that's 1.5 million. It's not a lot, is it, of a population of, what are we, 63, between 63, 65 million? So the potential for it to still run through society is more. Now, presumably, those are the total number of cases recognised. or tested and found to be positive. We don't know what the real cases are. It'd be really interesting to know what the real number of cases are, what they extrapolate from that, so that we can get a sense of how many people in the country have had it. Because, say, unfortunately, the vast majority of older people have already had it and the vast majority have survived. I don't know, this could be important stuff. They're reporting in America that nearly 60,000 Americans could die of COVID in the next 3 weeks. Again, these figures, you have to moderate the numbers in these figures slightly by the fact that sometimes, I'm a bit croaky, Judith Huey. I don't know why, I was just a bit croaky. You have to moderate these numbers sometimes because they're easy numbers to get hysterical about. But of those 60,000, will we ever know how many of those 60,000 American deaths that are forthcoming would have died of something within the period of time that they're going to die? Do you see what I mean? Because it's sort of, as a disease, it hits the most vulnerable. If it wasn't this disease that sadly took their life, would it be something else? And I think that's always something that, we've been on a journey with you guys on all these vlogs and with all these lives from the beginning. And, with you, we've gone up, we've gone down. It's easy to sort of stick with a binary position on something, but we're all humans, aren't we? And it's the first time we've gone through something. And I think, we try to encourage the girls, inflexibility in outlook and opinion isn't always good. You need to be able to reflect on what you hear, reflect on what you do, think about what you've done wrong and all that kind of stuff, which we've had to do as well. So, it's kind of, I do think these numbers, they can get a little bit of hysteria can creep in. So anyway, so Tory MPs are asking for more evidence on the COVID tier plans. They want direct, attributable, economic and scientific evidence of why these tiers are working. The regulator, the UK regulator, is to assess the Oxford COVID jab today. I think there's been a lot of kind of quibbling and worrying about, what are the results of this. I think in a weird way, I think the UK regulator needs to get on with that so we can just go, right, what is the Oxford jab about? So that's all good. Interestingly, in Argentina, the Maradona, obviously Diego Maradona, the footballer who died tragically this week, though not unsurprisingly, because he's battled all sorts of addictions, was deeply unhealthy, had suffered a blood clot on the brain. It's one of those classic, you rarely get these sort of public sort of expressions of mourning or loss, but they are in Buenos Aires, clashes with the police and all sorts of kind of riot police called in and what have you, because so many people wanted to see his coffin or see his body. He laid in rest. It's quite a traditional thing, isn't it, in many Catholic cultures, this. So, but yeah, it's just quite something, isn't it, that although he died of a heart attack on Wednesday, there are shots of many, many people. It's a nation in grief. And you sort of wonder whether sometimes these moments or these events, these outpourings of emotion, a little bit like when Princess Diana died, especially at this time, a lot of pent-up emotion around everything kind of gets expressed, doesn't it? So there's a lot of kind of that going on in Argentina at the moment as Maradona's family tries to lay him to rest. I thought quite a funny little story is the Huffington Post. This is funny. People online are saying they thought the photo of Donald Trump giving his Thanksgiving rant, that people are laughing or commenting on the size of Donald Trump's desk. Now, it's quite a funny photo. It looks like a large man at a tiny desk where he spoke with reporters when he was doing a video chat with members of the military and what have you. He sat at a tiny desk that's become a meme. So go online and look up Donald Trump. Thank you, HW. If it wasn't for the first lockdown, I don't think I would have ever found you guys. You've been so helpful in many ways through all of that. Oh, bless you. Well, I hope so. What we try to do is we try to digest the news. We try to translate the news. We try to take some of the heat out of it. We follow the news as well. We try to entertain. We've got a vlog coming later today. We distract, gardening, nanny die, all that sort of silliness. Food, which we do. We try to just all round entertain, stimulate, and distract. That's all we're trying to do. But do check out, even Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, posted an image saying, maybe if you behave yourself, stop lying to undermine a fair election, and start thinking of what's good for the country, you'll be invited to sit at a big boy's desk. And there is Donald Trump at a tiny, it's an enormous slab of his head next to a teeny, teeny, tiny desk. Very witty, very funny. Go and check the memes. I'm sure Maddie, I have to confess, does anyone else, if you watch the No Name Sunday show, I think Maddie's TikTok funny bits have got better and better each week, haven't they? They're, even if we may have seen some of them sometimes, just to have a little collection of 10 to 12 minutes of just silliness and laughter and such creative kind of invention. There's so much invention in this stuff, I think, there's a lot of people online who are just on Instagram, YouTube, social media platforms. They're very, very, there's a lot of great wit and comedy. Tim Reed, they are funny, aren't they? They are very funny. Love Maddie's TikTok memes. I mean, it's developed out of something into something, I don't know, it's just very funny. So Donald Trump's desk is tiny. I love this story as well. Have you seen the guys who are there's these two sort of poets, they're all on the board, two guys who work for London Underground who put beautiful sort of messages on the boards. And there'll be I don't know, there'll be sort of in memoriams of people who've died. There'll be thoughts for the day. They'll do little dedications to people. They write little ditties. And the two guys behind them are Ian Redpath and Jeremy Chopra. And they've spent 3 years writing poetry anonymously on notice boards at tube stations. And they've now released a book called All on the Board. Good on them. Good on them. I think it's lovely. They pop things up on it I often thought when you see these things on social media spread around, I often think, someone's just copied their own text onto a London Transport Board. But they had a dedication to Diego Maradona. They had another, be kind to others, be kind to you. Nobody knows what each other is going through. They're lovely. They're really lovely. Do check them out. I think they might have Instagram accounts as well. Twitter account has 75,000 followers, including Michelle Obama, Katy Perry, Ricky Gervais. It began in 2017 when the pair needed to put up a sign at North Greenwich Station directing concert goers to the O2. They've been doing poetry. I think, again, I love that. It's eccentric, it's intimate, it's sweet. It's really, really lovely. Oh, look, this story's just come through. Close schools early to stop pupils self-isolating at Christmas. Schools need to close early to stop pupils and teachers from having to self-isolate on Christmas Day, a union has warned. God, there are so many gradations of things, aren't they? Natalie Rand, my country is pathetic. Not all of it. You've got to have a breadth of political opinion. I think we've gone through a bit of a strange period, but I think normality will come back. And of course, sorry, I was just reading that about those two TfL guys are amazing, Faith Goodman. Very emotional story of the girl's suicide in front of one of them that was driving the train. Oh, yeah. I think, again, it's a perfect stocking filler book because not only is it, going to be funny, but it's going to be incredibly thought-provoking. Yes, that's true, Ellie Pickard. People are calling for schools to close early so they can isolate before seeing elders to reduce the risk. I guess that makes sense, so that you've got a bit more of a run-in to the Christmas Day period. Yeah, you see, all these kind of nuanced details. All these nuanced... Morning, Kirsty Walker-Ryan. So hit the thumbs up, guys, if you'd like us to do one of these kind of random news quizzes. I fancy doing a bit of a quiz. I fancy stimulating the old synapses. There was one other story I just wanted to quickly... float in front of you. Oh, of course, Black Friday. I just want to have a bit of a Black Friday. So it's Black Friday. Can I ask you all, who's going to take advantage of it being Black Friday? Yes or no? Are you taking advantage of Black Friday? Yes or no? We're doing a quiz this weekend. There's a big quiz night coming on Saturday. I haven't prepared any other quiz. I'm just gonna jump on the back of the BBC News one for a bit of silliness. No one's taking advantage of it. You know what my feeling about Black Friday or any sale is? It's always, all these companies are selling to you, the reductions they put on things simply get the item closer to the price it should be sold at. That's all I think. I know it's a bit of a killjoy. I know I've never understood, when I was a kid, my nan used to drag me down to Bournemouth to one of those department stores. And she'd be like, oh, it's the sale. And I remember looking at her and thinking, and she'd be looking through like bags, you know, handbags, like Margaret Thatcher handbags. And she'd be like, oh, it's the sale. And she'd be looking. And I'd be like, but Nan, aren't these all here because no one wanted them? And she'd be like, yeah. I said, but maybe no one wants them because they're not very good. Yeah. And I said, so maybe they're not worth what you're going to pay them now even. At which point she probably clipped me around the ear and said, go and sit in the car with your granddad, which I would have done. What an irritating little shit I was. But you know what I mean? That's what I mean, Anne-Marie. Isn't it all too expensive in the first place? It's like I remember Izzy once saying to me when we were in a supermarket, when she was learning about percentages, and she was like, you know, when a Ribena carton said that's 33% free. We were thinking about it. I mean, you 33% free. No, it's not. It's just you're being charged what you should be charged, close to what you should be charged for more. Do you know what I mean? It's only a bargain if you actually want it. Martin Smith, you've summed it up, and that should be popped on a T-shirt with Black Friday on the back. Totally agree. Totally agree. Love a bargain, though. I know, yeah, I know what you mean, love a bargain, but it's like Martin Smith says, it's only a bargain if it's something you really wanted in the first place. And I think the way it works is, this whole thing is, it tilts you towards things you kind of don't want, but you try and convince yourself you do want. Nads would be like sitting there going, oh, for God's sake, Mark, have a bit of fun, we're such a killjoy. But, you know, I mean, you know, Amazon is hoovering it all up, isn't it? So if you're going to do Black Friday, try and do something with a smaller independent firm somewhere that needs the support. That's what I'd say. Countless. I mean, the one company that is going to survive the pandemic is Amazon, and the countless millions of other ones that aren't. Have a look around there. I mean, you know, I'm not a massive buyer of things, but I do. You know, this lockdown has made me really appreciate the smaller business person and the smaller shops and the smaller, you know, people who are making their own stuff and doing their own things and all that kind of stuff. So support them. Anyway, let's have a look at this quiz of the week. I like the first question. I just want to do the first question because it's the Pope. Do you remember the Pope got caught up in an Instagram storm because he liked a photo of a scantily clad Brazilian model? Okay, quiz of the week. What went on the Pope's social media? Are you ready for this? Hit the thumbs up if you're ready for it. What are we on at the moment? Let's see what we're on, see what we can get to. Get us to 200 and we'll do it. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to go get a coffee. I'm still here, haven't gone anywhere. Really useless vase. Do you remember those shows in the 70s where they used to have a prize and there'd be some scantily clad person going, useless. Nearly there. Just getting my rocket fuel. Just bring that over because we've got the Sunday show in there. Got to get it out of the camera. There we go. Not at 200, ain't doing it. Fuck it, I'm off. Only kidding. Let's do it. So, when the Pope's Instagram account liked a photo of a scantily clad Brazilian model, the Vatican press office was quick to declare, as far as we know, the like did not come from the Holy See. But what is the name of the Pope's account? Does anyone know the name of the Pope's account? Is it Franciscus, Pontifex, Vatican_Rome? I thought his account was called Popus Maximus. What are you all saying? Vatican underscore Rome. Really? God, they use underscores. No, really? Do you think? Vatican. Okay, so a number of you are saying Vatican underscore Rome. I would be so. Let's have a look. No, it's Franciscus. Franciscus. I like Popus Maximus. I think they should call it Popus Maximus. It's Franciscus. Made headlines after some of its 7.4 million followers noticed the account had liked the image of Brazilian model Natalia Garibotto, dressed in risque school uniform. Didn't realise she was wearing that. That's awful, given the whole scandal that's been going on there. Okay. You ready for question 2? Kath Brazel. Hello in Auckland. We liked Auckland. We went to, I don't know if it's on the outskirts or near, I can't remember the geography. We were based in Auckland and we went out to Piha Beach, where they shot the piano. Is that right? I think so. So second question, here we go. A rainbow mural of Winston Churchill on the wall of a Brighton guest house was given a reprieve when a council U-turned on an order to paint over it. But why had it objected in the first place? So why did it object to a mural of Winston Churchill? Was it because he was depicted wearing stockings and suspenders, Churchill's V-sign hand gesture, or sensitivity about the wartime Prime Minister's remarks about Indians? So why was given a reprieve when a council, why did the council do a U-turn on an order to paint over it? He was depicted wearing stockings and suspenders, Churchill's V-sign or sensitivity about the victory sign, remarks, stockings, all the V-sign, Ellery Jones. Let's get you up here. Sandra Lupson, it's nice to see you on a foggy morning too. Should we have a look? Should we see what you're saying? Hand sign gesture, suspenders, Faith Goodman, V-sign gesture. I don't, let's have a look. Let's say, oh, it is. It's because of the V-sign. Oh, wow. And look, the image is really good. Let me just quickly take you off there and just show you this. Because if you haven't seen it, let me just turn you around. Look. Look at that. It's quite cool, isn't it? I've never seen Churchill look so fashionista. Woo. You've got, so whoever said V-sign symbol, use right. Use right. Yeah. Okay. Question 3. Come on, look. 5 more thumbs up icons and we'll go to question 3. Come on, guys. Come on, you can do it. Come on, go on. I know you can. There we are, done. Question 3, let's go. Let's hope it's not one of those really technical, weird ones. Oh, God, it's got the word EU in it. You know that you've been jumping into a secret conference. That's what a Dutch journalist was told after he successfully guessed the code to access a video meeting of senior politicians. But what was it? What was the secret conference? A conference of EU defence ministers, a joint NATO-EU Foreign Affairs Summit, or the EU Council? Imagine that. Imagine guessing the password right. Oh, my God. That's so funny. 2, a joint NATO-EU Foreign Affairs Summit, a conference of EU defence ministers, or the EU Council. Someone successfully guessed. That is funny. And they've got an image of his face. I'm going to show you. Shall I show you the image of his face? Let me show you this. I like taking you off there. It's kind of like, hi. Hang on. Look at his face. Look, he's got in there. So those are your three questions again. Which one of those is it? Go on, guys. EU Council, NATO, which one? A lot of you are saying joint NATO. Let's say joint NATO. Let's do that. Oh, no. A conference of EU defence ministers. Look at his little cheeky chappy face. What do you reckon the password was? What do you think the password was? Do you think it was like EU defence Nando's? Your password 1234. It's only me. Top secret. That is so funny. What was the password to the conference of EU defence ministers? That's so silly. Oh, this is a good one. I was talking about this on the... It's quite nice to know that a lot of what we've talked about this week has been intercepted by this quiz. So, artists or aliens? A helicopter pilot was left wondering who or what was behind the appearance of a metal monolith in the Utah desert. He likened it to a sci-fi prop, but from which film? Now, if you watch our Coffee Moanings, I mentioned the film in question. So let me show you the look at that. That's what was in the Utah desert. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So those are your three choices. Arrival, starring Amy Adams, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or 2001: A Space Odyssey. That was just found in the Utah desert. 2001: A Space Oddity. Ha! I love calling it that, Deborah Holdsworth. I don't know if that was a typo, but I think we should call it that. I think we're all saying, what we're saying, 2001? Yeah, it's 2001 because there is that opening scene where there is actually a monolith. Its plot, 2001: Space Odyssey, based on Arthur C. Clarke's stories, features the discovery of black monoliths left by extraterrestrials on Earth. The helicopter pilot in Utah suggested a fan might have left the monolith. Others reckoned it was the work of a sculptor called John McCracken. Either way, the helicopter pilot said it's the strangest thing I've ever come across. Utah's public safety department said, killjoys, it's illegal to install structures of art without authorization on federally managed public lands, no matter what planet you're from. Sense of humor at the end there. Sense of humor at the end there. An administrative answer to an extraterrestrial incident. I like that. Okay, question number 5. How you doing? You getting these right? Some of you are, I know they are. Tell the aliens that. That's so true, I'm a staple. Cambridge University Library said 2 notebooks written by Charles Darwin, The Evolution of Man, worth millions of pounds, had probably been stolen 20 years ago. But why had they not come to that conclusion earlier? So basically, why hadn't Cambridge University Library realised that these 2 incredibly valuable Charles Darwin's books had gone missing? A, librarians assumed they had been put back in the wrong place. Bloody hell. The system showed them as being on loan, or they'd been replaced by replicas. Oh, have you ever seen that movie, American Animals? It's one of Maddie's and Kiki's favourite films. I liked it, but I wasn't as mad about it as they were. But it's got not Evan Hansen. Forget the name of the actor. American Animals. It's based on a true story of these youngsters, these young American guys, these dudes that stole the most expensive book of birds, about pictures of birds. Anyway, and it's a sort of docudrama type thing where you have interviews with them and then you see them do it. American Animals. It's about a book called American. It's good. It's worth watching. B, lots of you saying the system showed them as being on loan. Let's have a look. No. The librarians assumed they'd been put back in the wrong place. We're going to have to ask Nanny Di about that. Is that a bad librarian? Naughty librarian? Whenever I think of librarians now, I think of the librarian in Monsters University. Have you seen that? Where she's an enormous sort of snail-like slug. Then she turns around when they're trying to get through the library. Librarians genuinely believed they had been misfiled, said Dr. Jessica Gardner. However, after a number of intensive searches, including the latest fingertip check, drew blanks, curators concluded they'd probably been stolen. They were last seen in November 2000 after an internal request to remove them from a special manuscript storeroom. Only during a routine... This is just like the movie. Check out American Animals. I mean, it's a bit more dramatic than that, but... Any of you get that right? Okay. Oh, we talked about this too. A cash-strapped British Airways has been selling off surplus dinnerware with everything from champagne flutes to drink trolleys. But which of the following first-class items were priced highest? A set of 4 steel bread baskets. Let me show you the questions. A set of 6 Dartington crystal brandy glasses. A set of 6 William Edwards china bowls. Chloe Charlotte Bell, yeah, they're trying to fix the speed of the podcast at the moment. See you later, Sue Wood. Which of those do you think it is? Glasses, brandy glasses, bread baskets, or china bowls? Hey? Trying to turn you better out. Oh, you can't. There we go. Glasses. So you've got steel bread baskets, 6 Dartington crystal brandy glasses, or 6 William Edwards china bowls. I'd go for glasses myself. No, it's the set of 4 steel bread baskets. No way. That's so rubbish. Bloody hell. Sorry, I keep taking you on and off here, but I just want to show you that. Look, that's what they are, look. Those are the most expensive. Have a good day, Seawood. And final question. The death of one of the greatest and most quotable footballers, Maradona, brought back memories of his infamous goals, scored a little bit with the head of Diego and a little with the hand of God. But which one of the followings was not one of his sayings? So which of the following 3 was not one of Diego Maradona's sayings? Football is like a religion to me. I worship the ball and I treat it like a god. If I was in a white dress at a wedding and a muddy ball arrived, I would stop it from the chest without thinking about it. Reaching the penalty box and not getting in a shot and goal is like dancing with your sister. Which one of those did he not say? I don't know about you. I think it's probably the wedding dress. I don't think he would have, he's a very macho man. I don't think he would have dared to suggest that he would even wear a white dress. Kerry J. Williams, reaching the penalty, so he didn't say the one about dancing with his sister. I'm going for the one, do you think B? Oh my God, I'm so surprised, sorry. The one he didn't say is, football is like a religion to me. I worship the ball and I treat it like a god. He did say both the others. So he would have worn a white wedding dress and he would have danced with his sister. What a rock, what a rock. What a rock and roll star. So there you go. The quote about football being like religion is attributed to his longtime rival, Pele. Oh, you got that one right. That's nice. Those were better questions, weren't they? They were less technical. They were less sort of academic. It got a bit academic one week, didn't it? And that sort of did my head in a bit. Well, there you go, guys. There's a nice little coffee moaning just to get our weekend off to a sort of reasonably informed start. I've got my lovely mug. And look, there's that little antechamber at the bottom. It's just opening up and said, look, there's more coffee, drink me. Can you, yes, you can see. God almighty. Espressos, man. So, have a lovely day. Lots and lots of content coming your way. Lots and lots of things being edited and made today and shot and all sorts of things. So we're going to be keeping you busy. Yeah, you know, Vlogmas does start next Tuesday, is it? A day before lockdown. And then there will be a quiz at the weekend. There's also going to be the last night shift will be happening on Tuesday as we come out of lockdown and go back into tiers. But of course, that's going to be supplemented by all sorts of kind of Vlogmas shenanigans. So have a lovely, lovely day, and we will see you tonight in some capacity if we're awake. All right, my darlings, take care. Bye.